should be online, but I don't see anyone there to confirm that for me yet. So. Hey there, Garen. Let me make sure that I put this on my other social, because people always forget these things. Okay. Can you hear me? Where's my thing? Am I making? You can see video, and you heard some audio. Then if you can hear that, if you can hear anything, then you should be able to hear everything the way I have this set up. It's either all or nothing. So today has been a crappy day. Hello, Webbit. Ah, that was shorter than I expected it to be, but it was just one piece. And it's kind of a very embryonic state, the piece that I'm working on there. Most of the playback you were hearing was the Chi Force, and all of those were, if you remember a couple weeks ago, when I did the TG33 demo, I kind of created this patch and I was using the vector to move around with it. I just thought, what if I sampled each one of those components into the Akai so that I could trigger them rather than having to deal with the vector joystick, because then I could have more than one going at the time. I could process them through filters and effects and things like that. So that's most of that track is actually the Yamaha TG33. That intro part was a patch that I created while I was on the stream about the Polybrute. And the TR8S, just every time I do a live performance of some kind, say what you will about Roland, the TR8S has the absolute best drum machine performance interface I've ever had. I don't even care about what the kit is. I just start playing, and I start playing with the mixer, and I can create patterns from nothing. I can do performances with nothing, even though I had a couple patterns there. But even editing the patterns while you're playing is so straightforward. That's my favorite. Hands down, my favorite drum machine, even if it's not a great synth. Yes, Roland, if you really think about it, Roland defined the drum machine interface. Before Roland did the TR-808 and 909, really the 808, go try to program any drum machine from before then. They're absolutely a nightmare. No one had the idea of 16 buttons, 16 steps until Roland did. That was really, whatever anyone says about the sound of the TR-8 or the 808, the sound is great, but that interface allowed for performance. So it's something that I absolutely love, and it just, it always sounds good. Like, even if it's just a simple pattern. just a wonderful instrument. So much fun to play with. And the Force with the new Akai operating system is really fantastic. It just really is. There's a lot more I want to do with this track before I record it, and now, as I am suddenly lacking in employment, I will have some time to do that. So maybe the next 6 months at the very least, I will be able to come out with some kind of album. We'll see. But anyway, the Force is really, really good. It works with the 3.0 operating system. The benefit over the MPC, in my opinion, is these 8 controllers with the scribble strips. Every time I get into this, it makes me think that maybe what I should get is an MPC X with the 16 scribble strips. And it's really easy to just switch the banks of buttons. I just hold the knobs button here, and then a screen pops up that you probably can't see, and then I just select what set of knobs and parameters I want to edit, so you really have a lot of control. If the MPC either got a clip view like this, it's only going to be a 4x4, I know, but if it allowed you to hook a clip controller, I think they just need to put the screen on the MPC. That would be great. If they put the matrix on the screen, then I could deal with the clips. It would be really, really excellent. But it's basically like, this is the only way I like clips. But the new synthesis engine that Akai came up with is the synthesis engine I've always wanted on a sampler. So it's really pretty cool. And then I added in a little bit of other sound. Let me hear this one. This one is the Morpheus, the EMU Morpheus through the Fractal Audio Axe Effects, which just does unholy things to any signal path. I have not bothered with the NKS stuff. I don't really use the synth plugins. I have them because I've gotten discounts on them, and I've done some work that has gotten me some of them, and if you wait for sales, sometimes they are dirt cheap, so it's like, why not? The effects I buy because I use the effects plugins. And in fact, one of the effects plugins is what is being used as the master reverb on everything coming out of the Force. But yeah, generally speaking, all Force plugins all the MPC plugins run on the Force. They're available for both. And with the 3.5 operating system, the Force and the MPC are basically at feature parity except for clip launching. Clip launching is the one thing that they took out of MPC 3.5 that has not made its way back yet. Rumor has it they have a big update coming in the works for the fall, but this is Akai, and who the hell knows? But yeah. Yeah, that's the Morpheus through the Axe Effects. Let me get you what it sounds like dry. This is a patch I created on the Morpheus. Never buy a piece of gear based on what they say it will do in a future update. Buy it based on what it does right now. Only way to live. It's the only way to live in late stage capitalism. You know, he might be getting paid to love the NPC. You kind of got to admit that. He might be getting paid to love the NPC, those videos that he's doing. I don't imagine he's just doing those out of the kindness of his heart. Oh yeah, let's break the effects down. The effects that I'm running that through. This is in the Axe effects. This is the delay. Adds a nice little bit to it. And then this is a filter I have running, a low pass filter. And then that's when you add the sequencer running and controlling a ring mod. Rack mount effects should not just be for guitar players. I got to get some EQs in there to kind of tame that low frequency, but it's I could send 7 minutes of this to Soma FM and it'd be a hit on Drone Zone. Yes, some of his talks seem particularly well prepared. Or who knows, maybe he's just AI generating himself. You know, make me a video that shows Roger Lynn praising the looper on the MPC. I doubt that's actually true. I hope not. I actually met Roger Lynn once, and that was a really fun time. I was at KnobCon, and he was at KnobCon, and he was demonstrating the Linstrument, which I really do want. But he gave me a personal demo on the Linstrument, and I will tell you that I had one of those moments where I was like, I am sitting here getting a demo on a product by Roger Lynn, and this is awesome. You know, I mean, he would never remember me. He saw 1 million people that day, but he was a cool guy. He seemed to lose interest in me when I told him I wasn't a really great keyboard player, and I was really more of a tweaker, button pusher, droner, whatever you want to call it, because I think he feels like his instruments should be in the hands of quote-unquote musicians. Oh, the relic is actually real and out now. That's awesome. I like me some buttons, but the relic I just look at and my brain just goes too many buttons. It gives me like actual anxiety with the number of buttons that it has. Like the poly brute is almost too many buttons. The matrix brute definitely has too many buttons, but the other one, that's just too many buttons. Too many buttons on the relic. That's probably blasphemy to say that. I'm trying to move the camera, but I'm not going to be able to really move it very far because of the way I ran the cable. Let's see, where did everybody go? I closed my window. There we are. Because you can kind of get some feedback. Let's see, what's the camera doing? Where's my OBS screen? Okay. We can get some, this is really excellent camera work that I'm doing here today, because at least you can see, you can get a nice view of the back of my head while I'm playing here. Yeah, this on my screen is the Axe Effects editor. Exactly. I will find this thief, and they will pay. Which probably means that tomorrow morning I'm going to realize that I grabbed it and put it somewhere, and my brain just forgot where it was. Tomorrow I'm going to have to run the ARP through this thing. I've had the Axe sitting in a rack for like 2 years and have barely touched it because I just got busy and I was working more on my modular and with my samplers and dealing with the effects in there. And the recable of my studio, which I guess I could do a tour of if people are interested. I'm like I said, except as I find job interviews right now, I'm going to be just basically sitting around all the time. So I'm going to probably create a lot of content, be in here a lot. I redid my studio and I accepted the need for patch bays in my life again. Only this time I did it more smartly than I did in the past. And so I can much more easily patch in effects and, I set up the patch bays so that the different areas of the room are all tied together by 16 channels of snakes. So, and the top row is audio going by my own mental convention. It could be either way. It is audio that's going out to a section, and the bottom is audio coming in from a section, so that I have this very easy way of piping audio around. Something that basic audio techs have been doing for decades, and I just am getting smart about it only after 30 years of doing this. Yeah, my tops are outputs, and the bottoms are inputs. But on the buses where I'm having just busing audio from one place to another, I kind of reversed it just because it doesn't actually matter because it's just an empty cable going between the two, so I can actually use either. If I do it this way, it makes more sense to me, or it makes more sense to read it. You know, there's a correlation that just makes more sense to me to do it this way. You know, because sending audio, I would do it this way. Getting audio, I would do it out this way. This way, I could actually loop back the audio, and it would still make sense. Or maybe it doesn't. I'll probably change it in 2 months' time anyway. You all know I do that. So the TG is going to go off the desk soon. And I got something else coming. I, of course, ordered something almost right before I got canned. I am taking the Proteus 2000 out of the rack, and I got an MPX7 command station. So I'm going to put that here so I have the trigger pads, buttons, and a synthesizer. Kind of like the Morpheus, but not exactly. So that'll be fun. Yeah, no one has to know how this studio works but me. So, you know, anyone else comes in here, they'd be lost. And that's the way I like it. So yeah, we'll see what happens next. Uh-oh. This happens occasionally with this chord keyboard. It just starts to get stuck notes and weird things start happening when I play it until I reset it. Ooh, that was voice stealing. Do that. It's making me nuts. Now Logic is going to complain that it lost control. I lost the keyboard. Where's Logic at? Got to find my window. Continue. Continue. There we go. And now it works again. I'm hitting a note. Yep, there's something going on. Oh, the MIDI. MIDI. Could be that I'm streaming and the Mac is just spending more time worrying about that than it is about my little crappy MIDI bus. Or it could be the Morpheus choking. Who knows? Oh, that's it. There we go. I had MIDI Quest open, and it's having fits. And it was taking the whole MIDI thing with it. Back in the 90s, you throw some Gregorian chant on that, and you have an album. Okay. Yeah, but today you'd have to pay royalties for the Gregorian chants. Back in the 90s, we just waited for someone to sue us. Wow. When the video feeds, when OBS is on my screen and I can see my posture, man, I gotta work on my posture. Okay. Well, honestly, I think that's all I got in me today. I'm really tired. It's been a long day. I wanted to get the stream done because I said I was going to do it, and I did it. And I hope everybody enjoyed the new track and whatever that is that I've been playing with for like from the majority of the stream. That's going to be a track too, or maybe part of the same track. We'll see. The next step is to take all those parts into Logic and see what happens, see what I do. So thank you, those of you that showed up, and I will see you later. Bye.